Good afternoon, everyone. All right, the energy's lower than this morning. So this is this is everybody who's made it through a very long, hopefully full and fulfilling day of presentations and discussions and meeting great people. That was our hope, and I've been walking around and I've had a great time outside of like getting the guy on Skype. That was fun. But we had, I think, a really great crowd, and what we hope as this summit could just serve as sort of like a starting point, not just one meeting. What we believe in around the ETC really is how this variety of media, the variety of ideas, the variety of fields really all benefit from thinking about how to create transformational experiences in all these different ways, whether it's with games, LARPing, with live play, with live action play, with short films, art, music, media, you name it. We really do believe that all that together can help make the world a vibrant, more, improve the world we live in. And so a charge, we kind of named this the charge. Oh, it was drawn to my attention this morning. I neglected to introduce myself. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Drew Davidson. I'm the director of the Entertainment Technology Center. Oh, stop it. Which I kind of like. It's like the least important thing is me. It's all of us here together, because I think I like to thank everybody again for their time and attention. We had people coming, you stayed, you helped contribute to it. Without everybody together, with our sponsors, the students, the faculty and the staff, and all the attendees, that's what makes something like this happen, and we hope it could carry forward. And the charge we'd like to put out there for it is we'll reach out. We have your emails, the speakers, the sponsors, the attendees, and we're going to reach out in terms of thinking of experiences and how you can make something transformational. What would you like to see transformed is the question we're going to ask of you. And so if you could get back to us with ideas that you have, whether it be a civic topic, an educational goal, something with medical or health, a poem you want to share, a game idea you have, let us know, because one of the things we'll try to collect this together and keep a conversation going. We have the Entertainment Technology Center Press. ETC Press is a experimental academic imprint where we hope to collect all of this to use as a way to document some of our ideas, but then inspire and hopefully enable us to have partnerships and collaborations, which builds on something I'm going to share more in just a second. But we look often to people out in the world to collaborate with us and our students. Some of the best games come. So like from Aussie's keynote that I know we all experience, that happened with a lot of collaborations outside of the ETC as they reached out in very clever and strategic ways to other subject matter experts, going out to Israel, working with Palestinian and Israeli experts, because Aussie has one side of the story, and Tim and Eric, oh my gosh, we got a lot of the people who helped make the game here. That type of collaboration is the only way we believe it happens. You can't just do it if you're an artist. You can't just do it if you're a designer or a programmer. You also need the subject matter experts together. And so that's one of the things we're trying to do, is pull a variety of people together. And so building forward on this, I'd like to turn it over to Dave, who's going to talk about the jam that's happening this weekend. That's just sort of like a first step towards doing more than just having a great meeting where we get to talk to people and see some great presentations. We want to start having some action moving forward from here. So Dave will tell us a little bit more.
Thank you, Drew. I'm Dave Solba. I teach here at the ETC. I also helped organize this summit, so it's been a lot of exciting work getting us together. So it seems like it went well, so I'm happy with that. And as Drew said, one of the goals of this whole thing is getting people together and getting people to talk about this area, making transformational experiences, and actually making it happen, making things actually transform. And to that end, when we're discussing the summit, our major goal was to bring people together to start this conversation, but we had a secondary goal, was to actually start something. And to that end, we are organizing this Transformational Game Jam, the Now I Get It Jam. And it's starting tomorrow. We have some teams and some educators lined up, and it's fundamentally about getting people together to take on challenges and build something. So where this sort of comes from, and we actually, when we were designing it, actually my wife and I, Sabrina, are the ones organizing this and designing it. We've done game jams before, and they're all about sort of spending a weekend to just make a game. Like sort of like you get a theme, and you work in a small team, and you try to make an interesting mechanic to come together in a game, and you make something work. And we like the idea of the timeline and the deadline of a jam, but we don't really like the idea of like spending time just getting a game going. We wanted to sort of push it in a different direction. And The jam was all about, in our mind, that moment of insight when you learn something, and how can you connect the dots in someone's head through interactivity, and about tackling a real challenge, a real problem, assigning developers and subject matter experts together on a team and getting them to really engage with that. And one of the things that sort of inspired all this, and like I said, getting away from games, were things that were game-like in that they're interactive, but not quite games. So some of the things that we looked at, there's Earth Primer, which is sort of an interactive textbook. There was an interactive blog post called Parable of the Polygons by Nikki Case and Vi Hart. And this was it wasn't a game. There was no real start and end and goal and decisions and challenges. It was a way to sort of explore a topic, explore a mechanic, explore a system to gain insight into what's going on here. So it's working with simulation, it's working with different ideas, and it sort of falls under this umbrella of an idea called explorable explanations. And that's kind of where we're going with this jam, is to get at digging into challenges and getting these explanations that you come to through interactivity and exploration. So what we're doing for the jam is, it's very much a jam. This is 2 days, Friday and Saturday, form a team and make something. But we started with the challenges. So we actually reached out to organizations, to educators, to people who work with things, and we said, what are problems that people struggle with? What are problems that, when you're trying to teach someone, this is the hard part to teach. When you just explain to them, they don't quite get it. You need to push in a way, or you need to give them different insight. So very much getting real problems that people really struggle with and getting those set up. And then bringing in teams, teams of developers, people who make things happen, who work with technology, who work with art, who work with design, and know how to sort of bring the interactivity and the insight into how people use things together with subject matter experts, teachers, people who work with the challenge itself, people who introduce it to us, and then we put them in a box, actually this box, this room, for 2 days, and we're going to see what they make. And our goal is to have what they make be shareable. Like, one of the constraints is we want what they create to go online and to be immediately shareable to the public and have people use it and see how people experience it. So these are the challenges actually we pulled together. One of the big parts of the organization of this was wrangling challenges and people who could be brought in to be the experts on this. And this is an impressively varied group of challenges. We've got Common Core math for parents. Like, how do you explain some of the newer ways to teach math that's happening in schools to the parents so they understand why it's important, all the way over to the inclusive growth economic model. Actually, UNESCO has this inclusive wealth index as a way to look at inequality in wealth and how looking at how we measure wealth in the world changes how we see society. And how can you use that to look at the world through a different lens? Recognizing abusive relationships. We're working with an organization where this is their mission, and how can you get people to sort of understand these hidden parts of relationships that people don't talk about? Food stamps, sensory overload, and autism. Microscopic particles create macroscopic behavior. Human-centered design thinking for teams. So all of these, not only are they challenges and problems people face, but they're all simultaneously brought together with experts and people who sort of know the education side, the sort of the real side of where these problems come from, and we're partnering them with teams who know the development side. So, to that end, after 2 days, these teams figure out what they're doing, what they're making, and making something hopefully impressive, engaging, and insightful. We're going to hold a little closing showcase on Sunday, and for this group, one of the things I want to do is invite everyone on Sunday. If you're local and you're in town on Sunday, it is after the marathon. WQED happens to be, the marathon goes right in front of WQED. I believe the road opens at noon. So scheduling a game jam during marathon weekend is not a good idea. But anyway, we're going to be holding a closing showcase where we're going to be showing off the work that these teams make and letting people come in, talk to the teams, talk about the challenges they faced. One of the big things, one of the conversations we want to start is, so you're working on a problem as a developer you've never even heard of. Like, where does this inclusive wealth index come from? And how do you go about engaging with the team of experts to learn enough about it, to learn the insightful things, to incorporate it into a design, and then build that design so that it does deliver on experience that brings insight to the problem, not just becomes a small game themed with dollar signs. And that experience, those conversations are a big part of what we want this jam to be. And hopefully on Sunday, there'll be a lot of people who've learned a lot, both about building things, but also working in teams and working with experts. So, like I said, if you can make it this Sunday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at WQED, we're going to be holding a showcase. And as well, there's a website for the whole jam, and we'll be putting all of the experiences the teams make up on there for people to access. So hopefully also by Sunday, there'll be a web page with all the links and all the experiences live for people to share. So that's what's happening starting tomorrow. That's sort of our first big kickoff of the charge of this Transformational Summit. And we're excited. This is a big experiment for us. We've never done, a summit like this, and we've also never done a jam like this. So it's going to be an exciting weekend. So thank you, Drew.
Okay, so I hope some people can come. We're really interested to see how this plays out. And thanks to Dave and Sabrina, who we've put, they keep coming through. I can't wait till we ask you to do something and it doesn't happen. It's like, let's do a summit and a jam on the last week of the semester. Yes, we can make it happen. Yeah, right, and there's a marathon happening, oops. So along with the charge, I know it's been a long day, but we saved the best for last. Like I was saying, we hope this can be a collaborative thing. We will be reaching out and asking you to talk with us and share with us about things you hope you could see transformed. And we hope that's a conversation that allows us to start thinking about things that we could collaborate around. And that's one of the areas where we excel the most. And this comes, I think, from the history of the ETC. Like I was saying, it's 15 years old. How many people, this is the first time they've ever been to the ETC? Oh, so you definitely need to stay tonight. Because you'll get to see actually what makes the ETC so special, and that's our students and the projects that they're doing. I think that is the best part about the ETC. And we're very, very focused on our students' educational experience because we want it to be very challenging and engaging and inspiring so that work, like what Asi was talking about this morning, comes out of this center and goes out into the world. And so for those of you for the first time, just really quickly, it is historically always been a master's program. We're growing into undergrad, and with Jessica Hammer joining us out of the HCI. We also have some of her PhD students have been walking around. We have some HCI PhD students here as well. So we're really excited about how the ETC is evolving and moving forward, but we've always had these master's students that come from all over. It's truly an interdisciplinary program. It was co-founded by Randy Pausch, who was discussed earlier this morning, and Don Marinelli out of the College of Fine Arts. So we had College of Fine Arts, School of Computer Science. We actually are right now under the provost's office. The reason they did that is so we wouldn't skew too far one way or the other. We intentionally pull in about 40% of our student body to come out of technical backgrounds. So we've got programmers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers. 40% is also out of artistic backgrounds. So we have 2D artists, 3D artists, graphic designers, visual effects. And then in the middle, they're from everywhere else. We have theater people, we have creative writers, we have business majors, we've had biology majors. We want that mix so that they're put together on teams and they have to work together, which we all know what group work can be like in school. But the whole point of this is that interdisciplinary collaboration, and we want to give them design and creative challenges. It starts during your first semester, that then they move beyond and go into semester-long projects. And that's what this evening's all about. You're going to get to see the work that our students have been doing all semester long. The nice part about it being the last week of the semester is they have actually something really substantial to share and show. So we're really happy to have a showcase where the public can come and see what the work they're doing. So they're opening up their rooms. Our project teams are an interdisciplinary mix of students, somewhere between 4 is like a small team to like 8. They're working on a variety of things. The schedule you have for the showcase this evening gives you a sense of what the projects are and where they are. The student teams are expecting you to come visit, and you can actually get your hands on what they've been doing this semester. And the reason we're excited to share that and have that be sort of like the showcase of the summit is really it's showing off the best of the ETC. It's what we aspire for our students to do even better and move out into the world like some of the alums you've seen today. A lot of the speakers are actually our alums. And we did that intentionally because we wanted to kind of bring them back into the city. You know, we have people at Google and Disney and Electronic Arts and Games for Change. It's a small world out there, and our alums make us proud. And the ones local at Shell Games and Sim Coach Games. And so we really want you to see that and give you more ideas as we reach back out to you. These are the types of projects where we're always looking for collaborators. Projects happen in 3 ways here. We often go after partnerships with either for-profit groups or nonprofit groups. We'll chase after grants with people that give a nice creative constraint for students to do a design problem and solve a design problem. Similar to the jam, but 15 weeks instead of 2 days. And so we're like doing creative work with a client to try to do something transformational, try to create something engaging, immersive, entertaining, educational, you name it. It can also be driven by research and grants. Faculty often have ideas. Sometimes we have good ideas, even in spite of what our students say. And then the third type, and there are projects in the building as well, students can pitch their own project. We mirror that on an industry process, so students can pitch their ideas. Like Asi was saying this morning, Peacemaker started as a student pitch project. So students pitch us ideas, and we approve the ones that are awesome, and they get to move forward. So you get to see this variety of work, and it really mirrors the variety of the sessions you saw today. That was intentional on our part. We really believe that's the strength of DTC, the breadth and the variety of work that happens around here. And the fun is the universal, and the faculty can attest to this, and I bet some of the students could too, is people suck. Clients want it to be green for who knows why. You're going to end up working with a programmer and an artist, and you might not even speak the same, their jargon's different. You're going to have different agendas and different desires of what to do. Like internationally, we're 60% international now. We have students from over 27 countries here. So that sort of cultural exchange is really vibrant, but also challenging. And I think a lot of the innovative work happens because of that diversity here at the ETC, because of the variety. But that universal nature of like just dealing with other people and having to work in these really tight time frames really inspires great work, but also inspires a lot of craziness, both the good kind where you're having fun and the kind where you're stressed and you need counseling. And there might be tears. A lot of us joke, but we have like tissues in our office just in case. You never know. But these students are at the end of their semester, so they have a lot to share. So I hope you stay. We also have food all around the building. Don't just look around here on the first floor. On the second, third, and fifth floor, there'll be food in the conference rooms on this side of the building. There's bars on the second and fifth, right? Or third and fifth? It says it on your schedule. So we want to tempt you with good food and good drink, but also really the best part of the evening should be our students and their projects. So we hope you get out there and enjoy the work that they've done, and maybe that inspires you in terms of your answers when we reach back out in terms of emails about what would you like to see transform and how we might be able to try to do that together. So thank you everybody once again for a great day. We really appreciate everybody's involved, and we look forward to a nice evening.